The golden savannah stretched endlessly beneath the warm African sun, glowing like a sea of light. Tall grass swayed gently with the wind, whispering ancient stories of courage, loss, and hope. In the heart of this vast land lived a young lion named Lumo, a small cub with bright eyes and a heart full of questions. Lumo was smaller than the other cubs, whose paws were lighter, his roar softer, and his confidence often wavered. While the others practiced pouncing and racing, Lumo preferred to sit atop a small rock and watch the world. He listened to the birds, studied the clouds, and wondered about the meaning of bravery. "You'll never protect the savannah by dreaming," one of the older cubs teased. Lumo lowered his head, but inside, something stirred. He wanted to be brave. He wanted to matter. Each evening, the pride gathered near Pride Hill as the elders told stories of the past. Tales of great lions who defended the land, who faced storms and shadows, who stood tall when fear tried to break them. Lumo listened closely, his eyes glowing with wonder. One night, the eldest lion spoke of the golden savannah itself. "This land lives because of courage," the elder said. "Not strength alone. Courage is choosing to stand when it's easier to run." Those words stayed with Lumo. Days later, something strange began to happen. The wind no longer whispered gently. The grass lost its golden glow. Waterholes began to dry. Animals whispered of a growing darkness beyond the far hills. The savannah felt afraid. Lumo sensed it too. One early morning, while the pride slept, Lumo climbed his favorite rock. From there, he saw something unusual. A dark cloud hovering far away, unmoving, unnatural. The air felt heavy. He ran to the pride, his small paws kicking up dust. "Something is wrong," Lumo said, his voice shaking. "The land is changing." Some laughed gently. Others ignored him. "He's just a cub," they said. "Fear makes shadows bigger." But Lumo could not shake the feeling. That night, he dreamed. In his dream, the savannah spoke. The grass bent toward him, the wind called his name, and a soft golden light surrounded him. "Bravery is not size," a voice echoed. "It is choice." Lumo awoke with his heart pounding. The next morning, the darkness crept closer. Animals began to leave. Panic spread. The elders grew silent. Lumo stepped forward. "I don't know how," he said softly, "but I know we must act." 2. The pride really looked at him for the first time. The eldest lion nodded slowly. "Then your journey begins." As the sun rose over the fading gold of the savannah, Lumo took his first step forward, unaware that this choice would change not only him, but the land itself. The brave little lion walked toward the unknown, and the savannah watched. The sun climbed slowly into the sky as Lumo walked away from the familiar sounds of his pride. Each step felt heavier than the last, not because the path was difficult, but because doubt followed him like a shadow. The golden savannah stretched wide and open, yet for the first time, it felt unfamiliar. This was no longer the land of games and gentle evenings. It was a land holding its breath. Lumo paused at the edge of the tall grass. Behind him lay safety. Ahead of him lay the unknown. He took another step. The wind shifted, carrying scents he had never noticed before: dry earth, distant rain, and something else. Something old. The savannah seemed to watch him, testing his resolve. Birds flew overhead, quiet and cautious. Even the insects seemed subdued. As Lumo moved farther, memories crept into his thoughts. The laughter of other cubs, the teasing, the times he had stayed silent when fear held his voice. Each memory threatened to slow him down. But another memory rose stronger, the elder's words. Courage is choosing to stand when it's easier to run. The path led him to a dry riverbed, its cracked earth stretching like broken lines across the ground. Once, water had flowed here freely. Now it was silent. Can one small lion really change this? Lumo whispered. Before doubt could answer, a soft rustling came from behind a stone. Lumo froze, his heart racing. Slowly, a small meerkat emerged, eyes wide and cautious. You're heading toward the dark hills, the meerkat said. No one goes there. I have too, Lumo replied. The meerkat tilted his head. Why? Lumo hesitated. Because if no one does, the savannah will fade. The meerkat studied him, then smiled faintly. That sounds brave? Or foolish? Maybe both, Lumo admitted. The meerkat introduced himself as Tika and decided to walk alongside Lumo for a while. As they traveled, they met others, an old tortoise who spoke of past droughts, a young antelope searching for her lost herd, birds who had seen the dark clouds spreading. Each story added weight to Lumo's mission. This was bigger than him, bigger than his pride. As the sun began to fall, the land changed. The grass lost its golden shine, turning dull and brittle. The air grew colder. In the distance, the dark hills loomed, wrapped in shadow. Fear returned stronger than before. That night, Lumo and his new companions rested beneath a lonely tree. Sleep came slowly. Lumo stared at the stars, wondering if they too felt dimmer. What if I fail? He asked quietly. The tortoise spoke gently. Failure is not falling. It is refusing to rise. Those words stayed with him. At dawn, the dark cloud moved closer. The savannah trembled not in anger, but in warning. Lumo stood tall, though his legs shook. I don't know how this ends, he said, but I know I won't turn back. Together, they moved toward the hills. As they crossed into the shadowed land, the golden savannah behind them seemed to sigh, as if placing its hope in the smallest lion who dared to walk forward. Nuha! And deep within the darkness, something began to stir. The shadowed land felt colder with every step Lumo took. The air was thick, heavy with silence, as if sound itself feared to exist there. The golden savannah was now far behind him, its warm glow only a memory carried in his heart. Ahead, the dark hills rose like sleeping giants, wrapped in swirling gray clouds that refused to move. Lumo felt small, not just in size, but in certainty. Tika stayed close, his tail flicking nervously. The old tortoise followed slowly, steady and calm, while the young antelope walked with her head held high, though fear shimmered in her eyes. None of them spoke. Words felt fragile here. As they climbed higher, the ground changed. Grass vanished completely, replaced by dry stone and cracked earth. The wind no longer whispered stories. It groaned. Lumo stopped. For the first time since leaving his pride, fear fully caught up to him. His legs trembled, his chest tightened, and his thoughts raced. What if the others were right? He whispered. What if I'm not enough? The cloud above them pulsed, as if reacting. Suddenly, a deep voice echoed through the hills. Who dares come here? The ground shook. Shertu shifted. From within the cloud emerged a massive figure formed of dust, smoke, and forgotten storms. Its eyes glowed faintly, tired rather than angry. I am the Echo, the voice said. Born from fear, neglect, and silence. Lumo's heart pounded, but he stepped forward. I am Lumo, he said, his voice shaking but clear. And the savannah is fading. The echo laughed softly, a sound like breaking stone. The savannah forgot itself long ago. Balance was ignored. Courage was replaced with comfort. I am the result. Lumo listened. Not with anger, not with claws, with understanding. "You're right," Lumo said quietly. "We stopped listening to the land. We stopped standing up when it was hard." The echo paused. No one had ever spoken to it that way. "But that doesn't mean it's too late," Lumo continued. "I was afraid my whole life. I thought bravery meant being loud, strong, fearless. But I was wrong." He took another step forward. Bravery is choosing to care, even when you're small, even when you're scared. The ground trembled again, but softer this time. The echo's form flickered. Why should one cub change anything? Lumo thought of his pride, the elders, the savannah, the fading gold. "Because someone has to start," he said. The echo's eyes dimmed. Slowly, the clouds began to thin. The wind softened. A single beam of sunlight broke through and touched the cracked earth. The land responded. Grass began to stir. The echo looked down at its fading form. "Then remember this," it said gently. "The savannah lives not through strength alone, but through those willing to stand." With that, the cloud dissolved into the air, carried away by the wind. Silence returned. But this time, it was peaceful. As Lumo and his companions descended the hills, the change spread behind them. The gray faded. Gold returned. Water flowed once more through the dry riverbed. Birds returned to the sky, singing louder than before. The savannah breathed again. When Lumo reached home, the pride was waiting. They stared in awe as the land shimmered behind him, alive and glowing. "You faced the darkness," the eldest lion said. "And you listened," Lumo lowered his head. "I was afraid," he said, "but I didn't turn away." The pride gathered around him not in praise, but in respect. From that day on, the golden savannah shone brighter than ever. Not because fear was gone, but because courage had found a voice. And Lumo, the brave little lion, understood something at last. Bravery was never about being the biggest. It was about being willing. And the savannah would remember that forever.